Good evening and welcome to the first not live Monday mystery card live on Facebook, but we're not live and it's a recorded video on the Monday before our big trip to Maine. So this is the one I'm recording. I'm going to try to do the other two in a campground. How fun is that? And I think I'm changing a little bit where I'm going to show you the card that we're going to make. How fun is this, huh? It's kind of like a fun fold, tuck fold card. So that's a card we're going to make, and I'm also going to show you how to use this gold foiling stuff. So that'll be exciting. So what you'll need for tonight's card is you need a thick basic white card stock base, and it's going to be different dimensions than what you're used to, and be sure to cut it because I didn't, but that's okay. 7 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you have 5 1/2 is your regular height, but you're only going to have 7 1/4. And then you're going to need a piece of DSP that's cut at 5 1/2 by 5 1/2 by 2 1/4. You need to have some kind of a matching cardstock, 5 1/2 by 2 3/4. So 5 1/2 by 2 3/4. I forgot to mention that the base card is going to be scored at 1 1/2 and 5 3/4. Or you could do 1 1/2 and then turn your cardstock all the way around and do another 1 1/2, whichever is easier for you. Then we've got a basic white cardstock that you're going to be using as a focal point, and then matching cardstock. I use the same matching here, but you don't have to. You can use another color that would match here. I also used, you probably don't want to do this, but I used my base that we would be layering on here to cut my oval, and then I realized when we open the card here, oops, it's going to show. So I guess you're going to have to find another scrap of your cardstock to do that. I used an embossing folder here for the sides. You could use, again, little bits of stamping just to give it some kind of texture or interest over here. I did not measure correctly, so I had to cut off my embossing. Okay, here it is. But it's like, oh well, that's how it goes. So then you're going to need dimensionals, and you're also going to need, well, I used the oval duo punch, double oval punch, so that I would have them match, and then I had a sentiment that fit into the middle here, and some kind of a feature that you're going to do for the front of the card. And I chose, well, the designer series paper I chose is this gorgeous, if I could remember, I don't write those down, but this gorgeous paper with the gold accent. I'll do that because maybe you'll see it. And then it also, that is the artistically inked stamp set that I used, and the hello was there also. So this is going to be so much fun, you guys. Okay, so let's get started, as they say. So you have your base card here. We're just going to put that off to the side for now. And what you, right, oh, I found my little interest piece. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your designer series paper, and you're going to put some glue on the back of that, and you're going to glue it down onto the, first you're going to get a glue that works. So here you're going to glue it down to your cardstock here. Tom's out mowing the lawn in the back, getting ready, making sure the house will be able to stand us not being home for 3 weeks. We've got the kid next couple doors down, kids watching our cats in the morning to let them out, and then they come back at after school to let them back in, and then we have another adult type person to come in the evening to make sure the cats are in and make sure they have enough food. So that's done. Okay, so you're gonna glue that onto here. You might as well glue your white cardstock. I don't even know if I'm showing on camera. I didn't even pay attention. But the white cardstock onto your background here. There you go. Okay, so we've got this piece and this piece. And while we're gluing, let's put the hello onto the backing of that oval. And you know what? I think now I'm going to show you some magic before we get to... I put it down on the paper. Okay, there we go. Put this down on here. There we go. Most of our gluing is done, but not quite. And before I lose these things again, what you're going to do to be able to, if you look at this paper, it's got these gold all through it. And when I stamped these, I went, oh, I really need to get some gold put on it. So what I did was I took the multi-glue is multi because not only is it a one-way glue where it glues two different pieces of cardstock together or paper together, it also dries tacky. So that's why I've been losing these stupid things, because I put the dots on, is what I'll show you now, is I put the dots on and I dotted all through here, and then I did a little squigglies on here, and then I went up and had dinner. Well, when I came home, when I came back down after dinner, I'm like, where are those things? Well, they had stuck to things. I was very not a happy person, but I got over it. So, but I still couldn't find the second one for my card. So basically you could use, what are they using? You could use embossing powder that is sticky powder, embossing heat and stick powder for this, but I thought it would be fun to use my multi-glue. And then we also sell the gold foiling. I put mine in a baggie. Some people put it in a little container. It gets a little bit too much for me. But basically, this now is tacky, and you're gonna take some of your gold foil and you're just gonna put it on top of the tackiness. I'll put some down on top of this one. Then you're gonna rub it, and it's gonna stick to the tackiness. So it's no longer tacky. Here, let me do it on this one too. You're just gonna rub, 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 rub. And then if you need a little extra, I have one of those little, one of these little brushes. And I'm just gonna brush the excess off. Here I did a little bit too much glue, but notice I'm making a mess. It makes a mess, but that's okay. Messes are fun, especially the night you go away on vacation. Okay, and here we are again. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna rub it in. You're supposed to be able to get it off with your fingers, but I think it does a better job with a little bit here. Okay, so now with the great big, we're all cleaned up now. See, wasn't that fun? So now what you have, and you can add, any kind of interest with this, with the I call it mono, but it's called multi-glue. Mono adhesive, I don't know where that came from. Oh, here, it's stuck on here. So we're gonna take those, and we're gonna take, we can build this now. So I'm gonna take my flap, and I'm gonna make it look pretty here by using my dimensionals. And you know that you can cut your dimensionals on the side so you can get every single bit of use out of your dimensionals, and you don't have to throw the edges away. You can just cut them into the pieces that you need. So we're gonna put this maybe right here. I'm gonna put hello up on dimensionals. I'm gonna put this flower up on dimensionals. This is olive, old olive that was in there, and the leaves that I thought, because I thought it would match better, I did them in the shaded spruce. Here, I'm gonna put this little guy here, off to the side. And then I'm gonna put this flower on here. Here I keep talking, and because when I cut this out using the dies, I kind of messed up. So I'm going to tuck that where you're not going to be able to see it very well. So you can say, oh, look, she messed up there. And then I've got the leaves. See, I did old olive, but then up here, you've got the green here. So I thought if I put the leaf in this, I just said it before. But if you use that color green, I thought it would bring out that darker green. You can use more than one dimensional, but I'm not right now. And then I'm gonna tuck that leaf right into here. So here is my, what did I call this? My interest piece. Okay, let's go back to putting this card together. Okay, so we have our card like this, and the edges don't meet in the middle, but that's okay. What you're going to do next is you're going to let me see, I think I like it better like this. Yeah. You're going to have this down like this, and you're going to figure out where it is in the middle. So you fold it in the sides, flaps, and you're going to put your pretty paper, your DSP, with it mounted on the cardstock in the middle of the card. Then you're going to take a, should have a pencil, don't have a pencil, but you're going to make little ticks here, because that's where you know you're going to be putting some glue. And again, I like the multi-glue because it's going to give me a little bit of time to move this where I want it. If I put just a tape runner glue, then I wouldn't be able to move it around as much. So here I have it on one side. I'm going to close this down again, make sure that it's even along the top and even along the bottom. Push down on here, give it a little push. Right now, you've got a cute little card like this, ta-da! But we're gonna make it even better. How are you going to do that? Well, you know. We're gonna take this that I didn't cut down. Your dimensions will be right. The ones that I gave you are right, but I was supposed to cut off 1/4 of an inch off of here because, you know, I had a really hard time following the directions on the card. Actually, did it? Yeah. The card came from another demonstrator up online. I thought the idea of it was like so amazing, but all of her dimensions were really bad. So here I was trying to follow her dimensions. I have all of these pieces laying around and I'm going, oh my God, this isn't gonna work. So I had to figure out all the different folds and all the different dimensions. So anyway, so that really kind of stunk. But anyway, so I'm gonna close my card and I'm going to figure out where I want to put my interest. I'm just going to put glue on just the strip on the back here. So I turn that over. I'm just going to put the glue here because if you put it everywhere else, you're not going to be able to open your card. So by having it just on the side, kind of like where you just put it on the side here, you just put it on the side here. So let's put this down. And again, I'll find it where it needs to go. And if I were to do that, I think I would do it a green again. I would use old olive green there. But the gold adds a lot of pop to it. Hello is a great sentiment because, you know, it's hello, and you can open it, say happy birthday, hello, hope you're feeling better, things like that. Hello, whoopsie. I didn't give it time to dry. Okay. Ta-da! Well, I hope you enjoyed this card. And again, here's the one. You're saying, Colleen, you didn't put a little peachy one on there. I'm gonna tell you, it's stuck somewhere because of that glue. I came down, I couldn't find it. I found this one on the bottom of my tape. I put another, it was all over. One was underneath the instructions, one was on the bottom of the card. I'm like, oh my God. So the way, again, how this opens and closes, it kind of tucks underneath so that you get both sides of there. I just think that is so cute. Anyway, so here it is. You now know how to use the gold foil. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. Right now, I'm in a campground that has no electricity. So therefore, I could not make this video. Well, right now, not now. I'm at my house right now. But when you're watching this, I'll be in a campground with no electricity. Please pray that it's not going to be too cold that night because the heater won't work without electricity. But that's why they made husbands, so you can snuggle up next to them and keep warm in a campground. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you all have a good week. Bye-bye now.